Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, August 10, I think. Yeah. I'm officially a grandma. Baby was born on the 8th, somewhere between 11 p.m. and midnight. My son-in-law tried to call me. I was sleeping, so he messaged me. Let me know that, my daughter is good. The baby is big. My daughter's only 4'11", and she gave birth to a 9-pound, 4.5-ounce child. Anyway, yeah, my daughter was only like 5 pounds, 13 ounces when I brought her home. She was very preemie. So, anywho, they ran into some complications, so she's probably going to be staying in the hospital a few extra days. He is a resident doctor to be. He's in his residency right now. So he was there, and yeah, such a great guy. His family is great. I love his family. They are just the best people ever. And yeah, I like them better than I like my own. Anywho, so my daughter is doing great, and I am still sewing. So I've got the whole bumper rail that goes inside the crib thing. That's done. The skirt is done. That is a little bit of an engineering, but we did it. And the sheets. All the sheets are constructed. Now I am going a little bit above and beyond and have decided to do the elastics around the corners. So where's the one? I just pinned that one. But this one is completed. Now, everybody knows what a fucking fitted sheet looks like. And if you don't, then you need help. Okay? Yeah, I know some European countries, they just use a flat sheet and they just tuck it, hospital corner it. Here in America, we have these disastrous little creatures called fitted sheets, and nobody can figure out how to fold them, so we just wad them in a ball and put them in a box. That's how you fold a fitted sheet. But anyway, these are for the baby crib, and basically you make a box, technical drawing, and then in order to hold the sheet on, you stretch a piece of elastic across the bottom. Now, the sheets that I had for my daughter, I didn't have these corner elastics sewn in. I just had it straight. Like, this one's done, so I can stick it over here. And they work just fine. I mean, it's a baby sheet. They're going to soil them. You're going to have to wash them often. That's why I made 8 of these damn things for her. But basically, it's just the box with the elastic across, and it holds the sheet on the mattress. All right. So anyway, I've got these pinned. And if you're wondering, and if you've never sewn and you want to do this because you feel like being fancy, this is a little trick I figured out. First of all, you're going to need a pair of tweezers, because they'll come in at the end. These are your fingers to hold the elastic tight against the fabric in order to get it all the way stretched under the foot at the very end. But basically, these little baby sheets, or even if you wanted to, you've got a bed, you get given a bunch of sheets. They're king size sheets. You can adjust these bad boys and make them fit your bed so they're not all slipping and big on you. That kind of thing. But if you want to do the elastic and omit this, I highly recommend this. Even on your own personal sheets. These are kind of they keep the sheet from pulling off the damn mattress, because new mattresses especially, they're slippery as hell. Why did they do that? they use this fabric that is like, if you laid on it in, like, remember those windsuits we used to wear in like the 90s? Yeah, lay on a new mattress in one of those and you can literally just slide all over it. Well, your sheets slip off the same damn way. So anyway, I pin it in the middle. So that's the seam, right? And then I find the center of the length of the elastic and I pin it right there. That is my second set of hands. And then I stretch it as far as it will go. And I find whatever, like if I'm on a pattern, I find where it's roughly gonna stop. And that is where I line up underneath the foot. I'm going to do this, and we're going to turn it so you can see it. Yeah, it is, it's not exactly easy, but I got it down. I figured, you know, the first couple of ones is like, oh my God, this was a bad idea. No, it's not really. It's actually a pretty good idea because they look better and it'll fit tighter on the mattress. Okay. And then pull. Whoop. Nope, not yet. There we go. I gotta get it on the ladybug. It's on the pattern. I gotta get it back on the ladybug. Okay, yeah, so this is what you're gonna end up doing. And I did this, I still do it because I'm a creature. Alright, so you're gonna set it on there to where your little landmark is. And all you're going to do is like 2 little stitches to hold it on. Then you're going to stretch it. Yeah, it's going to be, there we go. And then you zip it with a zigzag stitch. That is the stitch you have to use for elastic, is zigzag. Anything stretchy is a zigzag. If you don't know how to sew, this'll stretchy zigzag. Everything else. There's a fabric called chiffon. Leave it to the professionals. Yeah, just don't mess with it. Yeah, I've got a whole lot of it in here. Okay, now I'm getting to my pin. I don't want my pin in there. We're going to let go of the pin. Turn this around. You're going to need to do a little bit of torquing, especially if you're doing elastic over a seam, because I've got it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus the elastic layers of fabric. What did you do? Oh, you dirty whore. I ran out of bobbin thread. Not surprised. It happens all the time. We're gonna wind one. We are going to wind one. I'm going to show you how to do this. And I've got lots of dust. I've got to get a can of air. It is getting dusty. Now, sewing machines do get dusty. You need to clean them every now and then. All right, drop the bobbin. This is my bobbin thread up here. I don't know if you can see it. Hooks around there. Most sewing machines have the same mechanism. This is, come on, get in. You don't have to be precise in any hole. It just needs to go up and top and hook it. Give you something to hold on to. Of course you're going to be afraid and act all stupid. Here we go. There we are. Okay. I'm sure the pros got this down better than me. All right. Now, you snap that over, and what that does is disengages the foot. So the foot's not going to run, but you hit the presser foot. Just a little. Put your finger on there and make sure that your thread doesn't do anything silly. Because it'll slip underneath the bobbin. And then it'll be winding underneath here. Get some torque on it and then start running it. And I just gently hold the thread on top where it's anchored, and I'll trim that off when we're done winding it. And then you just... And I watch it because it'll get uneven. My mom used to hold hers and like guide it up and down to make sure it wounded even on one of her older machines. And when it's full, it will stop. Just like that. It gets excited. It starts to wind around the bottom. All right. Okay. Yep. Got carried away on that last one. Put this. There we go. Those last little bits kind of got... Cut off that little bit of shit. There we are. Now, I'm not zooming. You can zoom it in if you want to and look at my ugly hands, but the bobbin, you need to go in the direction of this little thing. So your thread is going over that way. And you're going to slide it into this little teeny slot, and then underneath that little thingy on top, and you're going to pull it out, and then you're going to flip this over, being quite coordinated. Lift this. Slide it onto the little spindle that's in there. Lift it and then set it down and lock it. Now, in order to get this thread up through that hole, some extra thread here. Your needle is all the way up. It makes it easier to pull it through. Come on, act right. All right. And holding this, you're going to watch this extra bit of thread. It's going to go down and around this thread and grab it. You go all the way up with your needle, and you got to do this by hand. There it is. It'll come around the outside of the bobbin and guide along that little thingy. I'm sure there's a name for it. I have no idea. This is where your tweezers come in handy. And it'll make a loop, and then you just pull it. For those of you who did not take home ec, here, I am your at-home home ec teacher. Yeah, we learned to do that in home ec. I learned to do it at home, but they taught us again in home ec. My mom was, you know, domestic goddess for 18 years. Anyway, So, yeah, stay-at-home mom, and then started going to college when I think I was like 4. My sister was in like 10th grade. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So where's the one that I started? There you are. Move you out of the way. Okay. So I'm going to find the center again, and I'm going to put the needle in there because I need it to hold it. So I stay on the actual seam. It's not a perfect pinning. It's just something to hold it on there, be a second set of hands so I can get this damn thing fed. Okay, there. You are... Yes, your pens do matter. Do not buy cheap pens. They're dull as shit and act stupid. Come on. I need a tomato. I have one, but it's not my tomato. I had one that had those sharpening beads in it. Freaking loved that thing. Yeah, I never had this problem with it not being able to stab anything with a pin. This sucks. Yeah, struggle is real. I've had to buy all brand new shit. I can't find my sewing box anywhere. So, all right, now give her a stretch. Here we are. We're gonna get this up in there where it needs to be. We started this before I ran out of bobbin thread, and of course I'm going to run out of bobbin thread when I'm trying to video. Luck is mine. Anywho. There we go. Alright, zigzag stitch, tug it so it's flat, let her rip. You get close to your pin, pull your pin out. Because you do not want your pin. There are some people who sew and they can go over the pins. Do I still have my souvenir pin? Yeah. You see that? Yeah, it took me like 10 minutes to get that figure out. Because I bumped it. Pull your pins. I know there's a lot of people out there. My mom used to. She'd roll right over them. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll slip right over. No, the hell I do. I got lucky. Look at that. So at your pin point, you're going to stretch it. You just stretch it along the seam. Now, I am not fancy. If I really wanted to be fancy, I would have done this inside the hem. No, I don't have the brain capacity or the patience to be fiddling with that kind of arrangement. We're doing it right on the outside. Okay. Boink. Alright, here's where your tweezers come in. Pull it. A little booger. Hold it. Lock it. There you go. Now for sheets, you only need about 3 inches of elastic. I am using, where is it? 1/4 inch. And when it stretches out, it's about 1/8 of an inch. And it stretches, this little 3-inch piece stretches to about 6.5 inches. So, you're wanting to learn how to do elastic and, you know, make clothes or baby rompers or whatever, it's good to know how much elastic you're actually going to need. And you don't want it too tight either, but you don't want it too loose. So technically, if you were doing a little like pant leg, little romper leg, I would probably do, you want it snug enough to where it's going to ruffle it a little bit, but it's still going to be tight enough to, you know, be comfortable on the legs. That kind of thing. So this will stretch to 6.5 inches, but you probably only want to go 4 inches with it. So you got to test your elastic and how much you actually want to, you know, how tight you really need it. These, I'm kind of doing them a little snug because I want it to grip the mattress and not slip off. So we got winding the bobbin and actually doing it. So let's see where we got. Where do you stretch to? Little fox's butt, you think? Yep. There you go. Two more to go, and then a whole basket, because I got like 4 more sheets I've got to do this to. I've got all my elastic pieces cut on the table over here. You got to get them all pinned up. But yeah, that's making baby sheets still. But yeah, all the fancy stuff is the valance with the bow and everything. That's all done. Sitting in a box, getting ready to get mailed. I want to finish these up and get everything ironed and get my little sewn by love you patches ironed on the stuff that it's kind of necessary or that I just want to brag, because I'm going to spoil this grandbaby. Oh, yes I am. Have a great Sunday, y'all. Peace.